Good evening, everybody, and welcome to SAF1 Season 3, Round 6. We're in Quebec, in Canada. A slightly shortened field for tonight's race. Have a few drivers missing, a few drivers stepping in, a few reserves stepping up. Obviously, this is a great opportunity for all the drivers who have showed up to gain some valuable points. First driver out of the pits, Alpine. I'm Y Alonso, wanting to get out there early, set a benchmark. See, this is not a full qualifying session, just a short qualifying session, so that means it's an 18-minute session, and everybody has those 18 minutes to set the best lap they can. Got support here in the comment section already for Jaden, currently in the pits. It's the Alfa Romeo driver, currently sitting with a set of mediums, I believe it is, on his car, as he changed it. Still in the pits. It's obviously the first driver we saw out of the pits. He's about to start his fast lap. No, he's not. I thought he was about to miss that chicane, but he was on his way into the pits. Decided to abandon that lap for some reason. Here we have Shakes F1. There we go, just gaining some momentum for that fast lap. Gonna use all of the track, but don't want to touch that wall of champions. So difficult here not to cut the corner. Just taps the barrier there on the outside. Looks like Y Alonso has retired from the session. I'm not sure why that is. Not sure if he had an incident. We didn't see it on screen, but we saw him go back into the pits. So no lap time will be set by Y Alonso. He will start from 14th position and have to make his way up through the field. Some support as well in the comment section for Shakes. Nicely done. Lots of support in the comment section. People showing up to watch their buddies. Phantom's gone over the line. He's set a 109.8. Unfortunately, the lap we were on got abandoned the second time. We've been on a fast lap and the drivers decided he was camera shy. We're right now with Quinton. No time from him. He's out on a set of mediums. So thanks for all the support in the comment section to everybody that's watching. This is your pole sitter and the only man to have set a lap time so far. That is Phantom. Asking here Roman Grosjean, interesting name, is asking if setup is locked. I don't believe it is. Depends on what you mean by blocked. I think if it's Parc Fermé, yes, I think there is Parc Fermé. I think you have to choose your setup in qualifying and stick to it. If you do get the wrong setup, you're going to have to deal with it in the race. Obviously, unless we have lap time slowly starting to come in. Very close there between Jaden and Phantom. Jaden has taken provisional pole for the time being, a 109.8.4. Just 300ths quicker than Phantom. Mackett currently third, but he's almost half a second. The drift from the two competitors ahead of him. Second, Alfa Romeo, currently fourth, but that's not a representative time. Not sure what happened there. It recorded an outlap for some reason. Still a lot of guys need to set their official lap times. And you can get caught out in this short quali session. Go out, get a lap or two invalidated, and you might find yourself running out of time. Forcing yourself to start at the back of the grid. Right now with the second of the two Alphas. Goes over the line, it's good enough for fourth, it's a 110.1. It's going to be half a second slower than his teammate for now, who is holding on to pole. The Alfa Romeo is looking good. McLaren's also looking good. Second and fifth for the time being. Quinton has taken second there, 109.8. Times compressing there at the top, getting closer and closer. We're still waiting for a lot of lap times. Vino, no lap time from him. Madtrav, no lap time from him. Duxter and Samba. But we have Duxter and Samba on outlaps. We have Zardi on what appears to be a flyer. Saw the back end slide out there. Gonna assume he's pushing. Didn't look like an outlap. Support for Don Rabico and Shakes. Lots of support on the channel. Nice to see guys being well supported. Lots of these guys probably race against each other in other leagues or in other categories or games or whatever the case may be. It's great to see them show up for their buddies on their night off. He's riding with Zardi 44. Obviously in the Mercedes-Benz, he heads through the final chicane. Ooh, so close to the wall of champions, but nicely done using all of the racetrack. He's going to go over the line now, and that's good enough for 7th. Those times are so close, just a 10.3. Another 2/10, he could have found himself in 4th. Times are really, really close. See all of those top runners, the top 6, all on mediums. So if someone wants to pull a surprise here, wait till the end, go out on softs. If the softs give you that little extra you need, you could have a surprise pole sitter. Jaden is dedicated to those mediums. Maybe someone can beat him on softs. We're up with Shakes at the moment. His current best, a 10.6. He's currently in 9th place. The last of the timed runners. Still waiting for lap times for Vino, Madtrav, Duxter and Samba. 3 of those drivers are out on track. And again, I follow a car directly into the pits, not having a lot of luck today. There we go, there is Samba. We were waiting for him to set a lap time. He has set a lap time. We didn't expect that from the Haas. Where did that come from? When I saw the lap time, I thought it was on a set of softs. So that's on a set of mediums. 109.0. The line has been drawn. Challenge. Will the challenge be accepted? Quinton out. on another run, looking to find some time. Currently third, front of the second row. Samba is a monster, the comment there. What a lap time, a 109.0, 6.5 tenths faster than anyone so far. And he's just gone faster. That's a 108.7. First man into the 108s, and he does it on a set of mediums. We're right now with Quinton as he approaches the final chicane. Does he dive into the pits? No, he doesn't. He goes into that chicane, misses the wall of champions, heads up the straight. Can he improve? Currently at 109.8. He does improve 3/10 of a second. He goes second to 109.5. It's still scarily 8. Is that 8/10 of a second? 8/10 of a second away from Samba on pole. Where they're all smattering the cars in the pits. Obviously guys looking to go out on their final run. Not the shortest of the racetracks on the calendar, so it does take some time to get around here. Can't leave it too late. Guys in the comment section just telling Samba to calm down. They get it. They get the point you are trying to show. Eugene now goes over the line. This is his out lap. Starts a new fast lap. Currently a 110.2. Nothing wrong with that lap time, but these lap times are so close, it's only good enough for 9th. He's out there on a set of softs. Obviously set his first lap time on a set of mediums, so he's going to be looking to push down into the 109s. Matty currently 10th to 110.3, Shakes 11th to 110.6. Amai Alonso obviously retiring at the beginning of the session. We will see no lap time from him. Matt Trav second to the 109.1. He goes just that little bit faster than Quinton, bridges the gap a little bit between that 8/10. Still 4/10 of a second away. Gonna need to find something more. We watch Eugene go over the line. Does he improve? Currently a 110.2. He does improve. He goes 5th with a 196. Obviously now the two McLarens on the second and third row, both starting on softs. If things were to remain the same, Mackett is in the pits, no movement from him. Duxter, he is out on an out lap. Don Ravico, his lap times have changed since he's been out on track. His previous best was a 10.1. It's only good enough for 10th place now. So he's going to be looking to improve on that. It's obviously an out lap, looking to just wind up. Another important thing is after you set your fast lap is how do you get these tyres back to the pits. You want to get them back to the pits as safely as possible. I once commented on a race where I watched a guy who basically, he took provisional pole about 5 minutes before the session was over, but he took it by a huge margin. He took it by over a second. And he proceeded to do burnouts as a celebration. For a moment, he forgot that those were the tyres he was going to have to start the race on. So let's just say his pole position wasn't very advantageous at the start of the race. Took the 6th. Your top Aston Martin for now. Jaden out on a set of mediums yet again. Doesn't look like he's going to go for a lap on softs. Going to try and get as high up the grid as he possibly can, but on a set of mediums. Pretty determined to start the race on a set of mediums, obviously committed to some sort of strategy. Would have expected him to come out on the softs and snatch pole. Let's see, watch out for Jaden. Here we go. Just backed off there. Not sure what happened there. Went over the line. We're not sure what's happening there with Jaden. He's not quite ready to do that lap. This was the man who set provisional pole first in this session. He was the first guy to set a lap time. He's currently 7th, Phantom. Where is your pole sitter? He's comfortably in the pits, and I think he has no interest in coming out. Ooh, and Aston Martin getting very out of shape there, and just managing to hold on to it, getting very close to the barrier. And gets out of the way there for Zodi. Zodi will appreciate that. He's obviously on an outlap for his final run of the day. Zodi out on track, Phantom out on track. Let's see, where is Phantom? Goes over the line. So 110.2. It's just getting out of the way now for Eugene, who's gone 4th. Very nicely done by Team McLaren, currently occupying the 2nd row. Eugene goes over the line. Does he improve? Yes, he does. He improves by 0.04 of a second, but it's not enough to dethrone his teammate. But Mackett has ruined that McLaren party. Mackett has took the car in 3rd right at the end. Right now with Phantom, he's 10th up in the 2nd sector. That's not going to help him too much. That would put him in 7th as things stand. Let's see what he can do in this final sector. What does he have? He needs to start as high up in the order as possible. Does he improve at the end here? No, he doesn't. Now we switch to Zodi. Does Zodi improve at the end here? Currently 9th on a set of mediums. He does improve right at the end. He goes 9th. Sorry, he goes 5th. He was 9th. And there we go. There's your qualifying session. 18 minutes of action. And now we're off to our race. We'll just wait for the official results before I put all my trust in those timing sheets. They've been wrong many times before. So now just waiting for the session to come to an end for everybody to be parked into the pits. And there we go. There's your official results. Somber for Haas. He takes pole of 108.7, 3/10 faster than his nearest opponent. That's Madtrav in the Alpine, a 109.1. And then 3rd place, Mackett in the Aston Martin, a 109.4. And he's the first driver on softs. Those top 2, they're on mediums. Then Quinton 4th, Zadi 5th, Eugene 6th, Jaden 7th, We got Phantom in 8th, Duxter 9th, Don Rabico in 10th, and then outside the top 10, Matty 11th, Shakes 12th, Vino 13th, Imwai Alonso 14th. Imwai Alonso was the only driver not to set a lap time. I'm not sure if that was penalty related or if he had an incident, but if he did have an incident, we didn't see it. Just saw him go out for one lap and come into the pits and call it a day. Obviously, we're looking at the pit lane. That's not what the drivers are looking at. They're in the cockpit already, and they're just doing their final adjustments to their pit stop strategy. And obviously, the one or two things you can tweak outside of park fermé, maybe just touching up, getting race ready, making final decisions on fuel. Doesn't look like rain will be a factor. We've got blue skies. Obviously, we've got the formation lap before we get underway. So just an opportunity for everyone to get some heat into the tires, some heat into the brakes. Also just get their first feel of the car with a full fuel tank. Samba leads the field. What a fantastic qualifying session he had. Madtrav second, Mack at third. And then we got the first of the two McLarens. Fourth for Quinton. Zardi fifth. Eugene. Second of those two McLarens. Seems like he's got some nice speed around Canada. Hope that translates to race pace. Then we've got Jaden in 7th. But I think that position may be I think he's going to have a much better race than we think. He was very determined to start on mediums. Probably could have started higher up the grid if he had sacrificed and gone on the softs, but he had a strategy in mind. Phantom obviously 8th, Duxter 9th. Then the second of the two alphas, Don Rabico, makes up your top 10. And then obviously just 14 drivers tonight. So outside the top 10, we've got the 4 drivers. That's Matty, Shakes, Vino, and Imwai Alonso makes up the field. Car's now going around the final chicane. And we wait now for the red lights, obviously. Just a bit of a pause, but here we go. Don't worry about that timing speed on your left. Something's not right there. Give it a lap or two, and then you can start to trust it. But we're underway. Good start by Samba. Good start by Madtrav. But Samba's got the inside line. Ooh, he's going to run a bit wide here, and I think Madtrav's got it. Yes, he does. Madtrav takes the lead of the race in the early stages. Very nicely done by everybody in that first sequence of corners. Madtrav leads the way. Samba second, 4 Haas, then Mackett in third. He's held on to that position. Zardi's picked up a position. He's up into 4th. Quinton's lost one. He's down to 5th. His teammate just behind him, holding firm in 6th where he started. Jaden 7th where he started. Same for Phantom 8th where he started. Then we've got Don Rabico, the second alpha. He has made up a position. He's up to 9th. And then Duxter making up your top 10. Just outside the top 10, obviously in 11th Shakes, 12th Matty, Vino in 13th. Amai Alonso makes up the field. But at the end of lap 1, Madtrav leads the way. And we ride on board with the leader. There's the man in second. Man who was blisteringly fast in qualifying. How's it going to translate to race pace? The man in front of him's got the same set of tyres as him. Got a set of mediums on that car. Who looked after that set of mediums slightly better in qualifying. Might have a slight advantage at the end here. Might be able to go a couple of laps further. Fast just getting out of shape there slightly. Madtrav's going to get a bit of respite and he's going to just take a little breath as he gets up, goes up the road a little bit and sees that car get a little smaller in his mirrors. It's going to let Mackett get closer. Mackett in third, holding on for the time being. Top 3 just covered by 1.1 seconds. A little further back, first of the 2 McLarens. Quinton suggested 2 pit stops, possibly 3. That's an interesting prediction. 3 pit stops around Canada if you're that quick to make it work. Very impressive. If Sunder's qualifying pace translates to race pace, he could probably do 4. Madtrav leads the way at the end of the next lap. Sets the fastest lap so far. Obviously that lap time will come down as the session goes on. Whoever decides to take a set of softs right at the end could potentially take that fastest lap away. Top 3 still very close, all in the same frame really. Right with Mackett, you can see second and first place right ahead of him. He's got front row seats to this battle for the lead. Ride with the man here in second. This is ERT Samba. Doing everything he can to get close to Madtrav so he can make that pass. But now DRS coming into play. Is he going to do it around the outside? Oh, look at that. Very nicely done. Madtrav holds on for all he's worth. Holds on around the outside. Gets squeezed almost into the wall of champions. But Samba's done enough for now to take the lead of the race. And now how does that pace we saw in qualifying translate to race pace when he's got a clear track ahead of him? Will Madtrav in the Alpine be able to hold on? Mackett in third. You would have seen Samba taking the lead. He doesn't want to let that car get away. See what's happening outside the top 3. Saudi has made up a position. He's in 4th. And look at that, he can see the top 3 right ahead of him. Really close stuff at the front. Eugene has now become the lead McLaren. He has made up 1 position, obviously started in 6th, he's up to 5th. His teammate Quinton, he's lost 2 positions, started in 4th, he's down in 6th. There we go. Was that DRS? Was that team orders? Who knows? Let's just say a little bit of both. Further back. Maybe that's why McLaren pulled team orders. Maybe that's why they pulled the pin. Jaden getting really close to these 2. Awesome battles all over the circuit. 5 laps down. We have not had a safety car. And the cars are all still relatively close together. So lots of battles on track. Lots of positions at stake. No DNFs yet. Ooh, and we just see Zardi, the back of that Mercedes-Benz getting out of shape there on the exit of the hairpin. Jumping on the gas a little bit too early. See those cars ahead of you just edging away lap by lap, that gap getting bigger and bigger, those cars getting smaller and smaller. Frustration sinks in and you just start hitting the accelerator a little bit earlier, coming out of the corners, and sometimes it's enough. Saw that Merc getting very out of shape on the exit. Luckily it was at a forgiving part of the racetrack. He was able to get away with it. That had happened at the Wall of Champions. Could have been a very different result. For the time being, 1, 2, 3 remain the same. Samba from Madtrav, from Mackett. Zardi still 4th. Quinton 5th. He obviously just passed his teammate. Eugene 6th. Jaden still 7th. And then Phantom 8th. Duxter 9th. Don Rabico 10th. Imwai Alonso. He has made up 3 positions. He's your top position maker so far of the race. He obviously started in 14th place. He's up to 11th. 1 position outside of the points. And Madtrav is not letting Samba get down the road. Obviously he's got the advantage of DRS. So every time Samba opens that gap a little bit, get to a DRS zone, he's able to pull those few tenths back, and he's just able to maintain that gap. It's like Mackett just starting to fall off these two now. He's obviously fallen out of DRS range. He's 1.5 seconds adrift. Once you fall out of DRS range, it becomes that much more difficult. And you get DRS 2 or 3 times a lap. Just helps you get towed along. You watch the leaders, Samba versus Madtrav. Madtrav gets DRS as we speak. At everything, and you see he gets really close at the end of the DRS section, and then you get a second stint of DRS. So Samba's able to open that gap a little bit over the space of the lap, and then Madtrav's able to pull all of that advantage back in the DRS. So at the moment that gap is staying more or less the same, hovering within the 1 second mark. But it's going to be crucial for the Alpine driver to stay within DRS. Speaking of Alpine, we have a penalty for Imwai Alonso. Let's just do that real quick. Drivers with penalties so far: 7th place Jaden 3 seconds, Phantom 8th place 3 seconds. Imwai Alonso, he's on 6th. Then we have 3 second penalties as well for Matty, Duxter and Vino. Never nice to have time penalties. It means when you have a time penalty, it means if you want to finish in the position you crossed the finish line in, well then you got to finish ahead of the car behind you by that number of seconds. So if you manage to win this race and you got a 6 second penalty, well, you got to win it by more than 6 seconds. You just make your job so much harder. We have a safety car. Eugene, McLaren's were doing so well, looking for double points here in round 6, but we've had our first retirement of the day. Let's see if we can, we were going to ride with Vino to see if we could just see where that incident happened, see if we could spot the stricken McLaren. They've not been able to see, we don't know where that is on the track. And there we go. Just into sector 1. So obviously now we're going to have a safety car for the next couple of laps, probably the next 3 laps. This will allow everyone who has formed a gap to close that gap up as much as they possibly can. Shakes, who's 23 seconds adrift of Jaden, he's able to close that up. He's obviously done a pit stop. Everyone who's had to do pit stops in the beginning of the race and thought they were out of it, well, this brings you right back into it, as long as you can catch the queue by the end of the safety car. Obviously this is also the debut. If you're watching, I just noticed myself, this is the first time I've ever seen the Aston Martin safety car. The Aston Martin safety car. Nicely done. First time I've seen it. Comment section starting to get a bit quiet. Guys watching the race a little bit too intensely. You see, as things stand, we're on lap 10 of 35, 25 laps to go. We're on our first safety car of the race. I say first, but not that I encounter more. Samba leads the race from Madrav, Mackett in third. Problem now is if you want to use the safety car to take a cheeky pit stop, you will lose all track position and you will start at the back of the grid. Well, not start, you will begin at the restart at the back of the grid, because these guys now really close together. Everybody has caught the queue with the exception of that Vino. Sorry, that's Shakes, Dixter and Vino. We're waiting for that trio. Shakes and Dixter decided to make additional pit stops under the safety car. That's why they're at the back. And they're going to do everything they can to catch this queue before the race gets going. Terrible feeling when the safety car comes in and you're nowhere near the queue. And get to take the advantage of that restart. Every time there's a restart, there's always a chance of possible carnage. There's always a chance of human error, people making mistakes ahead of you, where you can gain the advantage. Is that rain? I think, folks, I've been warned about the weather in the past. I've been warned about the weather in the past. When there's rain, people usually tell me, Jono, there's gonna be rain. They tell me in the qualifying session. This time around, nobody told me nothing, but folks, those are raindrops. Now, the crucial thing here is, we see raindrops on our screens, but that does not necessarily mean the racetrack is ready for any sort of wet weather tyre or intermediate tyre. It's just not ready. So if you were to go onto Inters right now, you'd probably overheat those tyres and destroy them. What do you do? Here we go at the restart. Oh, the horse getting out of shape there. That was a fantastic view. I wish I could have screenshot that. That was brilliant. Horse going sideways through turn 1 on a wet track. Wonder how greasy this track is. Remember, this is a 50% race, and how the game works, it compresses that time. So in a 100% race where the track would take a lot longer to evolve, this track will suddenly transition, and within half a lap you'll still be momentarily getting grip here and there to absolutely nothing with driving around on ice. Like I mentioned in qualifying, not the shortest of the racetracks. So when the track does transition, you don't want to be in the wrong part of the racetrack. You don't want to be too far away from the pits. It takes quite a while to get back there. when your tyres feel terrible. So many penalties in the field now. Madtrav, Mackett, Phantom, Jaden, Imwai Alonso, Duxter, Vino, Matty and Shakes. And look at this whole train of cars now into the pits. We've got Samba, Madtrav, Mackett, Phantom, Jaden, Quinton, everybody, nobody staying out. Did anybody stay out? Yes, one stayed out. Somebody's pulling a 33. And that's not Max Verstappen, that's Brad Binder. Somebody's pulling a 33. It's Duxter. Duxter, the only car to stay out. I think he may have had to because of a possible double queue. Did not want to double stack the cars. Probably decided if the track's not too bad, maybe I can hold it out for one more lap. Well, he now leads the race. See who is second. He came out of the pits in that mad scramble. Matty, DXT Matty, he's come out of the pits. Technically in the lead of this race, in the net lead of this race, unless the rain were to mysteriously disappear. Vanished before our eyes. Duxter will have to make a pit stop. Let's get confirmation that I'm not talking absolute rubbish. I am talking absolute rubbish. I am talking absolute rubbish. I apologize. I didn't see Duxter came into the pits 2 laps ago for mediums. So Duxter leads this race from Matty. And then we have Samba, who was the leader of this race. He's now a few seconds adrift. Everyone has switched on to the intermediate. It's going to be interesting. Do the conditions just plateau at intermediate and then end on a dry race? Or are we going to have a race that's going to get consistently wetter? And that would obviously bring the full wet tyre into the equation. And possibly more safety cars. So far the drivers who have not got any penalties. Nice clean driving so far for them. Madtrav, Quinton, Zardi, Mackett and Rabico. Everyone else having issues with track limits here in Canada. Speak from experience. Not the kindest of tracks. We have a safety car. Vino has crashed and we have our second safety car. It didn't take long. These conditions, Canada. There's a few parts of this racetrack you can make a mistake and get away with it. But there's so many parts of this racetrack you cannot make a mistake. There'll be a barrier waiting for you. And with barely 3 laps of racing under these wet conditions, we're back under safety car. And Matty will be very disappointed. He had a 5-second lead there on the inters. He got the jump on everybody. And now he's going to have Samba right on his gearbox at the restart. Not that I think it will come into too much play, but obviously Matty's inters are the oldest inters on the track. First man who decided to jump onto the tyre. This is the very ill-sounding Alfa Romeo of Jaden. If this was real-life footage, I would be very concerned over the condition of that Ferrari engine. But I know it's just the game doing its thing. Not a very good sounding Ferrari engine at all. Oh, we've joined Shakes at a very unfortunate time. He's just had the most awkward spin, going slowly around the hairpin, has a spin, breaks the end plate off his car, and he's not going to be impressed. He was trying to catch the cue there, and now he's going to probably have to make another pit stop. Does he? Yes, he does. No point in driving around Canada with a broken wing under safety car conditions. Vino has left the session. So he's definitely not hanging around in spectator mode to watch this. Canada caught him out, as it's caught out so many before him. Obviously the famous corner here, everybody knows that Canada, the Wall of Champions, originally known as the Quebec Wall, officially got the name Wall of Champions in 1999, when on the very same race weekend 3 champions hit the wall. I believe those champions were Damon Hill, Jacques Villeneuve, and the man himself, Michael Schumacher. Just an interesting... Oh wow. Well, not really sure what happened there, but Don Ravico, we just joined at the wrong moment there. He went over the chicane, hit the wall. I'm not quite sure. I saw he was on a set of wets. I'm not sure if that was intentional. Maybe his mechanics put the wrong set of tire on and he has just had enough. I'm not sure what happened there, but we saw him jump the chicane and head straight into the wall. And that's the end of the race for Don Ravico. Just 11 drivers left in this race. One driver will not get points. The other 10, all you need to do is finish. Definite points on the table. All you need to do is finish. And obviously for the likes of Mackett, Zardi and Madtrav, those are the only 3 drivers now with no penalties. Beat those drivers, Madtrav, Zardi and Mackett. They are obviously in a very strong position. With the cars around them having penalties at the restart, you don't even need to make a pass, you just need to stay behind that guy and you will take his position. Is it just me, or is it getting wetter? Maybe it's just because we're riding at the back of the field with shakes and there's so much spray. Still seems like intermediate conditions. But it would be wild if this were to swap to wet conditions before the safety car was over and everybody had to dive into the pits once more. Only for the race to dry up before the end. That would be... well, that would just be too much. So thank you again, everybody who is on the stream, everybody who is watching, and everybody who is listening to me ramble during the safety car session. Thanks for joining, thanks for watching SAF1, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And obviously if you hit the bell there, you're going to get a notification every time SAF1 goes live. So subscribe if you haven't, hit the notification bell and leave a like on the channel. Helps with the algorithm. DXT leads the race, but that strong lead he had of 5 seconds cut down to just about nothing. I was going to say 6 thousandths, and that's because Saba was right next to him. But Matty sort of got out of it in the braking point. Samba's got the speed, he just needs to really be patient here, doesn't need to get overexcited. Definitely has the speed to win this race for the time being. He's got that Williams ahead of him. He can manage with that Williams. He'll have a clear racetrack and he can be on his way And why Alonso another 3-second time penalty. Phantom third. He sees these two ahead of him. I think Phantom will know as well. Samba, one of the fastest on the circuit. We saw what he did in qualifying, so he'll want to keep Samba in his sights while he can, while DXT has got him behind. Don't let those leaders get too far up the road. Obviously no DRS in the wet conditions. You want to be so careful here on the exit of the Wall of Champions in the wet. So easy to let the back end get out of shape. Going now down to 4th position. The remaining Alfa Romeo, Jaden. One of the quickest men we've seen this season so far. Just not quickest in qualifying. Hasn't been quickest in the race. Weather hasn't really played into his hands either. He's in 4th place and not far away from the leader at all after all these safety cars. So he's got an opportunity. Everyone really in the field right now, I'd say, has an equal opportunity at this race. Anything can happen in these sort of conditions at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. And I'm glad they renamed this circuit Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. It was originally named Notre Dame, I think. No, it was the Notre Dame circuit. Much prefer Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Obviously got its name from the famous Canadian Formula 1 driver. Never won a world championship, unfortunately. But the first time this Canadian Grand Prix was ever held at this circuit, it was won by Gilles Villeneuve, the home hero. So we have the leaders going side by side, Williams versus Haas in the wet. Who's going to be the bravest? Going to be the Williams on the brakes. Is he able to hold it? Yes, he is. Just waiting for him to run wide, but now the Haas is all over the back of that Williams. He got better drive out of the corner. And he's just going to be squaring him up here on the exit of the... Ooh, we've had a bit of contact, or was that my connection? I'm not sure. That looked a bit dodgy. Seems like everyone's still got their wings, so everybody should be okay. Haas will regroup and head back up the road. Samba just 4/10 of a second, so Matty did get a bit of a breather in that contact. I don't know if that was just the Haas getting out of shape in the middle of the hairpin. Looked a bit awkward, that's why I thought it was my connection. Matty holding on to the lead. Fantastic job for now. What a result this would be for Williams. Currently 1st and 3rd. This would be a fantastic result for them. See the rain pouring. We're riding on the front wing of Phantom. See the 1st and 2nd place men ahead of us. Samba has taken the lead of the race. He's past Matty. Means Williams are now 2nd and 3rd. Phantom's got his teammate ahead of him. Jaden 4th, still looking for that podium position, and he's really on the back of the Williams. It's getting so close. Unfortunately, I can only show you guys one camera. I wish I could show you 3. So much action on track. Matty leads from Phantom. We have a Williams coming into the pits. Why is he coming into the pits? We have Phantom coming into the pits. Does he have damage? Does he have damage on the car? Phantom has chosen to come into the pits. So has Dukester. I think guys are coming in for wets. The guys coming in for wets, yes they are. Dukester on a set of wets, Phantom set of wets, Mackett, Shakes, 4 of the drivers now have jumped onto the wet. They've made the decision. The track has gone too far. And that leaves Samba, Matty, Jaden, Madtrav, Quinton, Zardi, and Imwai Alonso, the intermediate runners. Surely they will need to stop if that decision for the wets was a correct one. But now Shakes has retired from the race. And this brings us to our third safety car. Second under these conditions, very tough conditions. We have 10 runners left in the race. Good motivation for that means everyone is in the points. Samba leads the way from Matty, Jaden third, Madtrap fourth, Quinton fifth, Zardi sixth, Amwai Alonso seventh. Those top 7 runners, they're all on 10 lap old mediums. Sorry, 10 lap old inters. I'm losing my mind. And then we've got Phantom, Duxter and Mackett. They decided to come into the pits and put on a set of wets. I wonder if this safety car just caught those guys out a little bit. I think it did. You'd think the guys that went for wets first would come out in front, but they're not coming out in front because they came in for those wets under normal race conditions. And when everybody... And then they had to slow down for the safety car while everyone else pit. Interestingly enough, the leaders, first and second place, that is ERT Samba and DXT Matty, they have decided to hold on to their track position, hold on to their intermediate tires, and they have not followed suit with the rest of the field on the wets. We're going to find out at the restart who has made the right choice, who took the right gamble. Obviously Jaden was looking very fast, was looking very hungry, was looking for a podium. That was just before the last round of pit stops. He's now in third place on a set of fresh wets. And if this really is wet conditions, he should be in a prime position. But if these guys jumped onto wets prematurely, then well, this whole field is going to have to stop again. See a few people have just joined in the last minute or so. If you've just joined us, we're on lap 23 of 35. We're in the third safety car of the race. First safety car happened on lap 10. Since then the rain has started to fall and we've had 2 safety cars under the rain conditions. And now we're sort of in this, well, excuse the pun, but we're in this intermediate phase between intermediates and wets. Most of the field has made the choice to jump onto a set of wets, but your leader and your second place man have decided that the intermediate tyre and track position is the way to go. We will soon find out who made the right decision. Safety car has been out for a few laps. Could possibly be coming in this lap. Seems like everybody has caught the cue. Not sure what happened there. Sorry about that. I dropped my controller. Fantastic. I apologize about that. So obviously the footage is back at 24:35. We wait for the safety car to vanish so we can get going. It's going to be the Haas leading the way from the Williams, Alfa in third. How does that happen? That's That's the direct opposite of what the results should be. Telling me this race is being led by a Haas, followed by a Williams, followed by an Alfa Romeo. That's the top three of dreams. It's an Alpine in fourth and throw in another Williams for the top five. Why not? We are now, the safety car has come into the pits and Samba starts us, gets us underway. Has Matty gotten out of shape there? Was that what I saw on the restart? I saw a car going to the side. I think it was the Williams, and it was. Jaden now through into second place, and Matty has lost the position right at the start. Now coming under pressure from the Alpine of Madtrav. We'll want to get past that car as quickly as possible. The second of the two Williams. This one decided to go onto the wets. This is Phantom, he's in fifth. We'll see which Williams made the right choice. Look how similar those cars look, it's ridiculous. The Williams and the Alpine looking incredibly similar from the broadcast cam. Can we have less blue cars next season? Just a request. Less blue cars next season. And do something to the Aston Martin so I don't mistake it for a Merc. At the back here we also have all sorts of battles. We have Duxter and Mack at the two Aston Martin drivers, and they're coming up on the back of the two Williams. It's me, there's Williams and Aston Martins everywhere, it's madness. Back at the front, Samba leads the way. But remember, he's on a set, and as I say that, Jaden takes the lead. Is this the wets versus the inters? It could very well be the case that the wet is just slightly the better tyre at this point in time. But remember, the rain could let up. The rain could get less. And if that is the case, then the guys that decided to stay on inters are going to come back very strong towards the end of this race, especially if we have another safety car. So Jaden leads the way, he's on a set of wets, Samba in second, set of inters. Then we have Madtrav and Phantom third, fourth, Duxter and Mackett fifth and sixth. I'm Y Alonso and Zodi seventh and eighth. All of those drivers, they're on wets. And then at the back of the field we have Matty ninth, Quinton 10th. Those two drivers have recently gone into the pits and put back their inters. So 3 drivers on intermediate, 7 drivers on wets. Who takes the right gamble? Who knows? 9 laps to go. The rain is going to decide, but if I know I'm not driving right now, but unless my eyes are deceiving me, I'm not sure the wet tyre is the tyre. We'll watch this gap between Jaden and Madtrav. They're both on a set of wets. This is Samba's third on a set of inters. 1.7 seconds is the gap. That's going to be a very important gap to watch there between second and third. It's really where we're going to see which tyre is coming into play and which tyre is falling off completely. And Samba just falling back 2.2 seconds now adrift of the Alpine ahead of him. So not really able to keep terms with the wet tyre runners. Will conditions come back to the intermediate runners? Only time will tell for the time being. Phantom now beginning to close the gap on Samba, looking to take that final podium position away from him with just 8 laps to go. Matty, Zodi, Winton and Samba all on intermediates. The rest of the drivers are on wets. 6 drivers on wets, 4 on inters. Made the right choice. 2 drivers with no penalties. Mackett and Madtrav, they are the 2 drivers with no penalties. Everyone else out on circuit has some sort of penalty. This is Canada, so I'm going to presume at least the majority of those penalties are track limits related and nothing else. Lap 28 of 35. You ride with the 3rd place man, Samba. He's 3.2 seconds adrift now from Madtrav, the car ahead of him. That gap was 2 seconds a lap to go, so it doesn't seem like he's able to hold on to those wet runners ahead of him. Excuse me. You guys at the back of the field, they're on inters. They're going to be praying for one more safety car, or praying for the rain to let up so that these inters can come into their own. But at the moment, it seems like the wet tyre is the right tyre to be on, because if we look at Samba, just dropping back ever so slightly. If the Inter were the better tyre, way Jaden and Madtrav could be doing this. Could also be a good result for Aston Martin. Currently 5th and 6th, Duxter. Currently just ahead of his teammate, Mackett. Almost looked like Mackett was going to get through there on the inside of the hairpin, but he decides to stay behind his teammate for the time being. Be so careful here on these curves. When they're wet, when they're slippery, it's even worse. So easy to slide over these curves into the wall of champions. We haven't seen anyone hit the champions today. Some fantastic driving. I practiced this track the other time and I hit the wall of champions a total of 7 times in 30 laps, so well done to me. We ride obviously with Mack and his teammate Dixter just to get up the road a little bit now. Dixter getting on the case of Phantom 4th. Not able to do anything about the car ahead of him. That's Samba. And we were speaking about that gap. That gap was 2 seconds between Samba and Madtrav. It went all the way up to 3.3 seconds, and now it's come down to 1.3 seconds. So are these intermediates? Did Madtrav make a major mistake? Or are these inters coming into their own? We need to keep an eye on that. Let's look at the gap between Amway Alonso and Matty. That gap is 6.7 seconds. So let's see if that gap comes down. That's another example of intermediates versus wets. But right now, conditions were dry. Samba would be thousandths of a second away from being inside DRS. He's 8/10 of a second away, so he's really caught up to Madtrav. And Jaden not too far up the road either, so Samba will know this race is within his sights. And if the weather continues on its current trajectory, this race to him with that 3/10 of a second, just catching him down the straight, the superior traction. Look at this coming out of the corner. That's where you can see the difference. Coming out of the corner, you just get so much more traction. This, he's got him up the inside. He's going to have that superior traction, is he? Actually backwards there on the traction, getting out of the corner. Madtrav gets one on him. Stays on the outside. Holds on to that position. a little longer. Dixter has left the session. He's still racing though, so that seems to be an internet problem for Dixter. Hopefully he can get back into the lobby with 4 laps to go and finish this race. Samba all over the back of Madtrav, just not ready to make that pass. Madtrav holding all the defensive lines he needs to, holding the racing line. Says, if you're going to pass me, you're going to have to do it the difficult way. You're going to have to drive on the parts of the racetrack you're not used to driving on. Because while I'm in front of you, this racing line's all mine. Up ahead of him, Madtrav, he hasn't given up on the lead of the race. Jaden just 9/10 of a second from him. So really here in the top 3, covered by a second, 9/10 of a second to be exact. That is, and look at that, Madtrav now flies past. Not sure what happened there, but did Jaden have some sort of issue? Madtrav flew past, and Jaden all of a sudden down in 3rd place. But he's got quite a reasonable gap to the guy, to Phantom behind him. That's 7.5 seconds, also on a set of wets. Don't think he's going to come in. He's surely going to hold on to track in 3rd place. Anybody else on intermediates making serious gains? Not that I can tell. Matty not really having much of an effect on his teammate ahead of him, Phantom. That gap 9.9 seconds. Just 2 laps to go. Ooh, and we have a big spin. He held that. We had a big spin by Jaden. He held it. Is that Samba slowing down? Did he also have an issue up the road? It seems like Madtrav at the end here, he's 4 seconds up the road all by himself with no penalties. So I think this is really his race to lose at that point. He's in a very strong position. Samba 2nd, Jaden 3rd. 2nd and 3rd are definitely not decided. Phantom not able to do anything about a podium position. He's 4 seconds adrift. Samba still on those intermediates. Very difficult conditions to read, really. And you've got half the field on inters, half the field on wets. Trying to figure out which tyre is faster, but times aren't really telling you. Seems like Jaden must have damage. Just trying to spot some damage on his car. There we go. He's missing his end plate on the right hand side. That's why he's losing so much time. Oh, and now he's just hit the wall on the exit of that chicane. And now, if an end plate was his concern, well, there's no wing on that car at all. So good luck getting through the chicane at the top of this straight if you decide not to pit. He's in 3rd place with 2 laps to go. He's not going to want to pit. He's not going to pit. He's going to try and hold on to track position. He goes over the chicane, and that's going to allow Phantom up into 3rd place. Nicely done for him. Samba at the end here, he's passed Madtrav. We didn't see the action on track, but Samba passed Madtrav. Samba leads the race. Gap is 2 seconds. We're on the final lap. What sort of penalties are going to come into play here? This is where the penalties really can come back to bite you. Samba leads 2.9 seconds on the race circuit. That's how much he leads by, but if things remain the same, he's not going to win this race because he's got 6 seconds of penalties. Madtrav in second has none. That would make Madtrav the net leader of this race, even though Samba is racing away at a absolute rate of knots, but it's not going to be enough because he's going to run out of racetrack. Samba goes over the line, and for a brief period of time he's going to be classified the winner, but as soon as Madtrav goes over the line, there we go, confirmation. Madtrav, he takes first place from Samba. And then your final podium position, very nicely done for Phantom. Goes over the line just ahead of his teammate. And that is a third and fourth place finish for Williams. Mackett over the line in fifth. Jaden over the line in sixth. Just crawling home with a very broken Alfa Romeo. Sardi over the line in seventh. We wait for Quinton. I imagine he's had an up and down race too. We'll just wait now for the final results to come up on our screens, the official results. And there we go, your podium finishes. Just jump away from the podium celebration so we have a little bit more time to read through the official results. And there we have the official results. I'm not going to try and read the penalties to you because there's just way too many. But Madtrav, he managed to win that race, and he managed to get the fastest lap of 1:12.1. Just faster than Samba. Samba second, Phantom third. Then we've got Matty in fourth, Mackett fifth, Jaden sixth, Quinton 7th, we've got Sardi in 8th, I'm Alonso 9th, and then Duxter making up the top 10. We only had the top 10 finishes. Obviously 4 cars started that did not finish. That is Shakes for Red Bull, Don Robico, Vino Voreel, and obviously our first retirement, that was much earlier on, that was Eugene, brought out the first safety car of the day. I am going to try get these guys into the comms box. Let's see what I can do. Excuse me while I try to find our top 3. And that is on the condition that my PlayStation plays nice. Sorry for the awkward silence, but I'm having a bit of an issue with my PlayStation. Something that's been happening over the last 2 or 3 weeks. But when it seems I start a party chat, some nights I can't invite anyone. Every time I hit invite, I get an error. So just bear with me for another minute or 2 of patience while I try this again. And if you're getting all the weird sound effect, menu effects from my PlayStation, I do apologize. Nope, just a blue screen error. So apologies, I'm not going to be able to do a podium interview. Probably going to have to find another way of doing podium interviews in the future if my party chat is not going to sort itself out. But I want to thank everyone who's watched, everyone who's listened, and everyone who's going to watch this later, because I know this gets so many more views after the race. So guys, thank you very much for joining us for round 6, joining us for Canada. It was an eventful race with weather conditions that were up and down and very challenging. Everyone who finished the race, congratulations. Everyone who finished on the podium, congratulations. And we'll see you next week. Same time, 7:30, Tuesday night. Thanks guys. Cheers.